Hey guys, how's it going? It's Sean from Ridesharing101.com. And today I want to talk a little bit about tipping because it's been on my mind, and specifically tipping drivers. I had the occasion to be a Uber passenger a couple of times because I needed a ride to get my car. I was renting a car actually to Uber. I got a get around car, and I'll do a separate video on that in a future time. But I need a ride there and back. So I got a couple of different drivers and had some nice discussions. We're talking about driving and stuff. And I should have asked them if people tip them, but it never really got to that spot. But I tipped both the drivers I had. I had a very nice woman driver. This was early, about 5:30 in the morning. She had just started. And then another guy gave me a ride in the afternoon, and I tipped both of them, and I tipped them in cash, and they were very very grateful and very thankful. And it kind of got me thinking, because most people don't tip in cash. When I do get a tip, I'll get tipped in the app, and sometimes I might have 10 fares in a day and 7 people might tip me, and then I'll have other days where I take 15 rides and nobody tips me, and that's just kind of how it goes. And I don't quite understand it, but I don't need to, and I could probably go crazy rattling my brain trying to figure out what's going on. I just try to give the best service I can, drive as careful as I can, and hopefully people appreciate that. And I was thinking about tipping because excuse me, I've been trying to get an apartment in San Francisco, and it's basically it's a nightmare. Everything is grossly overpriced, and the places that I'm seeing are just kind of all over the map. Some very strange situations. And one place I thought I had found, it seemed nice, but the guy, he wanted a credit report, he wanted references, he wanted a list of the last places that I lived. And most places, when I go looking to move in, it's this is how much it is, we get a good vibe, yeah, I totally rent from you, if you want, it's yours. And it's just been like that. And this guy was sort of Mr. Paperwork and very fastidious, and I kind of knew there might be an issue when I had to take my shoes off to go into the house. Now, he was Oriental, so I understand in a lot of cases that's a cultural thing. Other people I know that make you take shoes off to go into their house, I don't visit them because I think it's really friggin' pretentious. Yeah, okay, your house might get dirty. Vacuum the friggin' floor, okay? It's not so hard. It was going to get dirty anyway. And you have a cat, for crying out loud. I mean, I know cats are clean, but they knock stuff off all the time. I love cats. Cats can be messy. They're clean, but they can be messy, especially when they're mad at you, okay? So, anyway, I digress. But one of the things he said is oh, well, honestly, I'm kind of concerned about your credit report. And, my credit isn't the best because basically I don't have any credit. My score is, okay, to be honest, it's under 600. It's 580. I have a car loan. That's it. I have no credit cards. I haven't had any loans before the car for 5 years. I just deal everything in cash, which is where we tie into the tipping. So, I wanted to say, hey buddy, I've got a car. I've got a car loan. I've owned a home before. So, okay, yeah, I don't have the best credit score, but that doesn't really mean anything. And basically, I could have gotten the place, but I just, his attitude, his sort of demeanor just kind of bugged me. It grated a little bit. I was wondering, if I cooked something in the pot and let it soak overnight, if we'd have to have a roommate meeting about it, the next morning. So I just didn't really want to deal with it. So I passed. And so that kind of got me thinking, I don't really have much credit because I don't use credit. I like to use cash. I've got a debit card, and if I basically don't have the money in my account, I don't buy stuff. And for the most part, everything I just either put it on the card or I don't use it. But a little lately, I've had some cash on me. Not a lot, but I find that when I have cash, I spend it. I tip accordingly. And I tipped both my drivers in cash because I figured they could use cash. It doesn't get reported. It's instantaneous. So, I tipped both drivers like $5 so they could put a gallon of gas in if they need it. They could, go to 7-Eleven, grab a cup of coffee, maybe something to eat, whatever they want to do. But I was driving, and I really had to go to the bathroom, and I had one of the tires was low in the car, and I needed to fill it up. So I pull in by the air pump, and I just walked to the counter, and I said, "Hey, do you have a bathroom I could use?" And the guy's, "Yeah." And he just pointed to the door, and it wasn't, he didn't give me the, "Well, are you getting gas?" or "It's for customers only," or he just said yes, and let me use it. And I said, "Hey, my tire's really low. I need to fill it up. Is there a way you could turn it on for me?" And basically, at gas stations in California, if you make a purchase that day, they're supposed to let you use the air and the water for free. Otherwise, the machine says, it's 50 cents or $1 or whatever. But if you buy something, if you buy gas, by California law, they have to allow you to use the air and the water for free. But most places, if you say, "Hey, can you turn the air on for me?" they'll do it. I've only had one occasion. That was the Shell station at 16th and Guerrero, or 16th and Valencia, where they wouldn't do it for me, and they wanted me to pay, and I was just like, okay, forget it. And I've never been back there since. Hey, go figure. So anyway, he's like, "Yeah, it's always on. Go ahead and use it." I was like, "Oh." And I thought, nice guy, young kid. I knew I had some change on me. Open up the wallet, find $1. I'm like, "Hey, this is for you. Thank you so much." And I went outside. He was really thrilled, because he's a kid working at the gas station. I'm sure he doesn't get tipped very often. So it was just a nice gesture. I appreciated the fact that he let me use the bathroom, didn't give me attitude. He was cool about the air. And, I was happy to give him a tip because he was a cool guy. And, hey, why not? I think we'd all appreciate something like that. So, it just kind of got me thinking about tipping in general. And, I'm kind of curious, do you guys, if you have cash, do you tip in cash? Do you tip on the card? Do you tip at quote-unquote non-traditional situations like I did at the gas station? And this is just sort of a general informational question. I don't think I'm better than anybody else because I tipped the young kid at the gas station. I'm just curious as to what other people do, because I found that people that work for tips, people that work in the service industry, at hotels, at restaurants, are in return very good tippers as well. And I'm just kind of curious because I know a lot of people come from that background. So I'm just kind of interested in how you guys approach credit. Do you put stuff on the card when you're tipping? Do you use cash? How do you feel about the whole thing? So please let me know in the comments. I love getting comments. I will respond. Please subscribe, and if there's anything you want to see a video about, or you have any questions about, let me know, and I'll do a YouTube video on it. I'll make it part of the daily vlog. So, all right, guys, ladies, thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Be safe.